I need you to hear this. Layoffs are real.
I'm getting laid off effective December 31st of this year.
What do you do the next day? Like, what should I do? Like, what should I do this week?
Because you feel guilt, anxiety, stress, and relief, all at once.
So I got laid off from Amazon a couple days ago.
Amazon says AI wasn't the main driver of these layoffs, but it is doubling down on internal automation.
It just makes me feel like, when are we ever going to have job security again?
The future is female. That's what we heard for years. But here's what they forgot to mention. The future is also automation. The future is cost cutting. The future is continuation. If your business model doesn't continue, if your funding doesn't continue, if your skills don't continue being useful, you don't survive.
When you're running a business, you typically want to have a product that consumers have to buy again and again. But with 23andMe, the key problem with their business is that you only really need to take the test one time.
Look at 23andMe, a company built on a product you buy one time. When customers stop coming and investor money dries up, the entire company collapses under its own weight. 40% of staff gone. The drug R&D division shut down. The stock in penny stock territory. And this is where the ephemeris narrative collides with economic reality. Because this isn't just a 23andMe problem.
Layoffs right now are absolutely horrible. These are recent layoff announcements from major U.S. companies. So in the last several weeks, not stuff from earlier in the year. UPS has laid off 48,000 employees. That was their announcement. Amazon, 30,000. Intel, 24,000 employees. Nestle, 16,000 employees. Accenture, 11,000 employees. Ford, 11,000 employees. Novo Nordisk, 9,000 employees. Microsoft, 7,000 employees. PricewaterhouseCoopers, 5,600 employees. Salesforce, 4,000 employees. Paramount, 2,000 employees. Target, 1,800 employees. Kroger, 1,000 employees. Those are shocking to me because groceries.
Across tech, finance, media, consulting, HR, and even government, companies are cutting thousands. Why? Because the future doesn't care about feelings, slogans, empowerment campaigns, or who should win. The economy rewards what it needs, not what it was told to promote. And women are starting to feel that shift hard.
Like today, it's really hitting me and it's really scaring me.
It is just still so scary to know that you are just like these bullet points of roles and responsibilities.
Like, I feel like this has been such a wake-up call because you just cannot rely on your job anymore.
I am so scared to be in this job market right now. It just...
The time I'm recording this, we're already at 1.1 million layoffs in 2025, and word on the street, it's going to be just as bad in 2026.
Layoffs are hitting women the most because women dominate the roles most vulnerable to automation and the roles least tied to long-term revenue. The future is here and the ground is already moving under them. So why does this matter to men? Because for the first time in decades, the narrative is flipping because the same system that told men they were obsolete is now laying off the very women it claimed would replace them. Because understanding this shift right now will determine who survives the next decade and who gets blindsided by it. Let's get into it.
Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we many.
So, what do you guys do when you're laid off? Like, I don't know why part of me feels like at peace, and then another part of me feels like I might crash out later. But I know it's like a common thing. Everyone deals with this, so it's like I'm not alone in this. So many other people in worse situations than me. So many people have families. But like, what do you do the next day? Like, what should I do? Like, what should I do this week?
The question, what should I do this week, might sound silly to some people, but you need to understand something. A full-time job consumes your entire structure, your days, your routines, your sense of purpose. All of it is built around work. So when that disappears overnight, your schedule collapses. your identity collapses, your stability collapses. Most people don't realize this until it happens. When your job goes, it's not just the paycheck that disappears. It's the framework that keeps your life moving. That's why she's asking that question. Not because she's clueless, but because the layoff ripped away the one thing that organized her day-to-day life. And she's not the only one.
So I got laid off from Amazon a couple days ago, and I wasn't planning on talking about it because, to be honest, it just feels kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. And I know I shouldn't think about it that way because in my case, it wasn't performance related, at least what was told to me directly. But like, it just feels, you know, I don't know, it just feels kind of sucky. But I still, so even knowing that it was bigger than just me, I still feel kind of embarrassed. And I'm trying to change that because, you know, that's not good for self-esteem purposes. But yeah, I'm still processing it, to be honest. I think the day it happened, I was very like, what the hell just happened? And I was very much in denial and I didn't think it mattered. And then as the day went on, I started to feel the different emotions. So I started off just in complete denial. And then I started to feel sad, like, why did this happen to me? What did I do? You know, I was working really hard and just getting good feedback. And then it turned into anger and just being upset with the whole concept of just corporate. And yeah, just, I have so much to say about that, but just really angry about just everything, and yeah, and just how it happened.
This is key because she wasn't fired. She was laid off, meaning her performance wasn't the problem. Her behavior wasn't the problem. Her attitude wasn't the problem. The job disappeared and she didn't make the cut. That's where the anger comes from. Not injustice, not mistreatment, loss of control. And the embarrassment, that comes from the realization every laid off employee quietly faces. I'm not as special as I thought. Watch what she admits next.
I'm doing okay. I'm very, like, I need to make sure I wake up on time and I get out of the house. I've been dressing up every day. I mean, I'm not really dressed up, but I'll do my hair and makeup. And then I've been going to this coffee shop close by to my place, and I get my $10 latte every day. But I'm doing things to kind of just keep my mind busy.
There you go, brothers. Risotto! The $10 latte is the real reveal because she knows exactly what it symbolizes. She can't keep up the lifestyle she built her identity on. The brunches, the lattes, the urban independence aesthetic, the I don't need anyone lifestyle. That identity requires one thing, a steady paycheck. And without that, the strong and independent woman narrative collapses instantly. It doesn't work without a job.
I just wanted to let you guys know, since I made a post about it last week before I knew what was happening, that my company was doing layoffs. Well, here's my response. I found out this morning that I was spared for whatever reason. I chose to not be a part of the layoff. And I feel just like I just don't have words right now. Like, I'm just numb to it all. I feel terrible. That's really it. I feel so terrible. My team went from 4 consultants to 2. So I had a 50-50 shot, which, you know, I feel a little guilt because I would have been at peace with leaving. And I feel like maybe the other 2 aren't. We were impacted today or like at all by layoffs over the last few weeks. I want to say I'm so sorry, and there is a better plan out there for you, and it's all gonna work out, and something better will come of this.
this is interesting because it highlights something people never talk about. Layoffs don't just hit the people who lose their jobs. They hit the survivors too. She apologizes because she knows the truth. She stayed and they didn't. It triggers guilt. It triggers fear. And it reminds her that the only difference between her and her laid off co-workers might have been timing, not talent. Survivor's guilt exists for a reason. Everyone who remains suddenly realizes their job is not secure. Their skills are not guaranteed to be relevant. Their position is not protected. And deep down, they all start asking the same question. What happens when it's my turn? That's the psychological shift happening across the board, especially in the industries where women dominate the roles most likely to be cut.
I have a prediction. I'm throwing it out there into the universe right now. Actually, hope it really does not happen, because it's coming from the news last week regarding the high unemployment rates and how long it's taking people to get a new full-time job. But I have a prediction that it's about to just get out of control. I feel like unemployment rates are just going to start skyrocketing. I feel like this snowball effect is just on the brink of happening. And even this morning, I had one of my friends call me, told me she got laid off, which was awful. And I feel so bad for her. I think I feel worse about it than she does, because I just don't want her to end up like me. I don't want anyone to end up like me, being laid off and not being able to find a full-time job. Even I have another friend that got laid off a month or so ago. Like, even my local grocery store is laying off butchers in the meat department because their meat is too expensive or something like that. It just, like today, it's really hitting me and it's really scaring me. And it just makes me feel like, when are we ever going to have job security again?
Those key words, today, it's really hitting me, tell you everything about female nature. It only hits when the environment changes, not when you warn her, not when men explain the pattern, not when the numbers are obvious. It only hits when reality overrides the narrative. You can say whatever you want, but if it's not the current status quo, not today, she won't understand, and she won't care to understand. Why? Because the mindset is always, what have you done for me lately? And this is where men need to be ready, not to rescue anyone, but to recognize the cycle. Women flip-flop fast. They don't need a man until the system that empowered them starts cutting them loose. When survival becomes real, romance takes a back seat and security becomes the priority again. And that's exactly what's coming.
Everyone keeps talking about recession indicator this, recession indicator that. I personally feel like it's indicated. I feel like it has made its presence known. It is this looming thing on the horizon. Like, I truly have lost all hope. I'm so tired of being overwhelmed and anxious that I'm just whelmed by this point. I got the notification today, just like everyone else at my company, that they had laid off an additional wave of people. The last wave was back in September, and then today they let go more people. And it's just so anxiety inducing. And while I appreciate the transparency of our senior leadership, whether it's the CEO or the director of my department, it is just still so scary to know that you are just like these bullet points of roles and responsibilities, and at the end of the day, are you something that can be cut to add more money to the business line? Like, that is just insane. And yes, I've never fallen for the notion that, you know, we're one big family, or that you're essential, or that, you know, you're valued. Like, yes, it's just a job at the end of the day, but like, the amount of survival guilt that I feel is just like, it's beyond overwhelming. I just feel so bad. Like, the holidays are coming up, it's Q4, it's winter time. Like, who's hiring right now? Like, the job market already sucks. Like, I just cannot imagine waking up today and getting into work and not knowing that this will be the last day in my role or with that company. Like, that's just, it just feels so cruel. And I get it, at the end of the day, this is a business and they're going to do what's best in their best interest, but it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking and it's disheartening, and I don't really know what's in store for 2026, but like, something has to give.
She's right. This is business. And she's correct about something else. This is only the beginning. But here's the part she doesn't say out loud. The part that explains the sheer panic in her voice. Uncertainty hits women the hardest. This is the core truth the feminist movement never advertised. Women only entered the workforce en masse when the world was already built, safe, and prosperous. They were sold a glamorous alternative to the home, and it was fun and games while the economy was booming. It was fun when it was optional. But now, the game has changed. The business she's talking about is getting ruthless. The environment is shifting back to a place that is not safe, not stable, and not forgiving. And for the first time, the escape route back to the security of the home is being cut off. The safety net is gone. That's not survivor's guilt. That's the primal fear of being a survivor who knows she can't survive what's coming next.
If I was the CEO of a large company right now, I'd be pretty worried. And it has to do with all the media attention around the fact that they're calling this the era of AI layoffs. We are seeing tens of thousands of people lose their jobs due to restructurings that are being attributed to AI. And as CEOs, what I'm hearing in the boardrooms as I'm talking to organizations, they are being told, deliver this kind of massive radical restructuring so that we can acquire those savings and leverage the power of AI, or you're not doing your job. So if you're a CEO, you report to a board, you're going to go ahead and do these things, but ethically, internally, you understand what you're contributing to, which is, to give you an idea, the time I'm recording this, we're already at 1.1 million layoffs in 2025, and word on the street, it's going to be just as bad in 2026. And so we always knew AI when it was coming that it would do a massive contraction, but then eventually create an expansion in all these new jobs with job titles that we've never even heard of before. But we knew there would be this period where it would be pretty painful. As a CEO, though, your brand, your reputation out there is one of, you're the person that did this to me. You're the person that contributed to this massive amount of unemployment of college-educated workers. In fact, in the 45-year history that we've been recording unemployment rates, this is the first year where the unemployed college-educated worker, that number is higher than the non-college-educated worker. So we see this happening, and it's a train wreck. I'll be honest, as somebody who's been in the industry for 20 years, this one is the worst I've seen. It's not going to be great in 2026. But what I try to remind people is that these same companies are still hiring. You will see the Amazons and, the Verizons and the Metas of the world who continue to slash large numbers of jobs, but they'll also be hiring for new positions, new roles, but not at the same rate.
So I am getting laid off effective December 31st of this year. We have known since September. My company announced it in September. It's a massive reorganization that they're doing. A lot of us are being let go, thousands of us. So I've been applying for jobs and figuring out what I want to do next. And I got an interview on Friday, and it ended up being the most unhinged interview I have ever had. I work in finance, and the questions being asked were not at all finance related. They were all hypothetical. What if the world is 90 to 95% self-driving cars? What industry is most impacted? And those types of questions, which totally fine. You're trying to see my thought process, and it is what it is. But I knew that I was not going to be moving forward with this job. The interviewer, we would not have gotten along at all. Which is fine. It's totally fine. And at the end, I wanted to be hey, so thanks so much. You've made me think a lot. I know I'm not your right candidate, but have a good weekend. I did not say it, but I totally should have, because this morning I got the rejection email. I already knew that this was not going to go any further, but I already got the rejection email. What a quick turnaround. But I do appreciate that they let me know super fast. I wish more companies would do that, but yeah. Fun times.
This is where reality sets in. Yes, companies are still hiring, but they're no longer hiring to fill seats. They're hiring the people who directly increase output, reduce cost, or work efficiently alongside AI. The days of corporate cushioning, busy work roles, and emotional labor jobs being protected are over. AI isn't replacing everyone. It's replacing the margin, the extra, the people whose job functions can be automated, streamlined, or absorbed. And that means the people who survive the next decade will be the ones who learn how to use the new tools, not the ones who expect the old system to keep handing out stability. Companies aren't looking for passengers anymore. They're looking for engines. If you can't make the machine run better, AI will do it instead.
I had a one-on-one with my boss today, and this was rescheduled from earlier in the week, but it just so happened to be like right after we found out that our team was safe. And he's asking me about my professional goals and my development goals and trying to get ready for 2026. And I'm like, it's just like we're acting as if everything's normal when things are not normal. It's like, this is like not the time to be talking about this right now. But this is just really a testament to the fact that, we are just a number. There is no job security in corporate America anymore. And I know I have no desire to climb the corporate ladder, and I keep putting off my side hustles, but I feel like this has been such a wake-up call because you just cannot rely on your job anymore.
If you've been in this space for a while, you already knew this was coming. When you swallow the red pill, the final stage is acceptance, seeing the world exactly as it is, not as you wish it to be. And the truth is simple. The world is a process. It evolves. It has been evolving for thousands of years. And every time the environment shifts, human behavior shifts with it. Female nature hasn't changed. The environment did. For decades, the modern world created a safety net big enough for people to forget how fragile comfort really is. But when the environment tightens again, when survival re-enters the conversation, people revert to their default programming. Only those who adapt survive. That's been true since the beginning of time. So the question is, are you a survivor, brother? If you are, hold the freaking line. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and stay 10 steps ahead while everyone else is just now waking up to reality. The next decade is not for the unprepared. Listen to all, follow none.
Patreon gang, salute. Management, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.